Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you, in my opinion, one of the most efficient classes, very underrated in MapleStory, to be able to solo all content up to normal Damien as well. Now, being able to solo normal Damien means you clear Lotus in 20 minutes solo, which is very, very crazy. The gear that I have here isn't like super expensive, and I'm going to show you right now. The underrated class is Marksman. Now, Marksman is extremely strong because they give you a lot of free stats. I will get into that a bit, but just take a look at my gear over here. I barely have any 17-star gear, and my Damien clear was a very comfortable clear as well. I was like even chilling in like part 2 and stuff like that. I don't have too many 17 stars. My weapon is not 17 stars. I'm using Balrog boots. This is like what, 2 mil item. I'm using a glove, Unchained Sentinel gloves. This is like 5 million or something like that. Super affordable relative to some of you might even have more expensive gear than me with my Balrog boots, my gloves. I'm using a Neophyte cape. This is probably like also 5 million. So these 3 items here, not even 20 mil. And clearing one of the hardest content in the game, except for like Hard Lotus and Hard Damien. My shoulders here is not even a 3-line main potential and not even a 3-line bonus potential. It's just some random 2-line that I'm just using temporarily. This is probably like not even like 7 mil. So I'm using very budget gear. I'm playing with pretty much almost like 4 stuff less. That's why my stat is a lot higher, because I have, look here, I have like 21% or thereabouts. I have another 27% here, but it's very inflated stats because the gear itself is very bad. I don't have too much like attack on them. This one here also gives me like 21. So if I like remove all of this gear, you can see my stat is actually 15,000 if I were to use like Absolabs and get myself like attack and stuff like that. At the same time, I'm pretty sure if I remove most of this, I'll still be able to clear Lotus solo. So it's very crazy. This is an insanely efficient character as well. Now I have a lot of spare gear over here. As you can see, I'm slowly working my way to upgrade, but I didn't even need like these gear. They're all like plain and simple. These are just like my spare gear as I'm changing it around as well. One important thing that you need to know why this class is so good is because decent sharp eyes over here. I just have my glove decent sharp eyes. You don't really need it. I just rolled it and I just like whatever. I'm not going to spend so much resource just trying to reroll this because it's just an unchained glove. Decent sharp eyes gives you 8% crit damage. Now for marksmans, we don't need this because we have true sharp eyes, which gives 15% crit damage, an increase of 7% crit damage. Without fifth job and vicious shot, we only care about the crit damage. So you have like 7% extra, which is pretty much one free line of crit damage. That is like 3%, 4% final damage bonus, which is a lot, totally inbuilt. You have a lot of crit rate. So if you're a free-to-play player, you don't have NFT collection super high, this helps a ton as well. Having this massive free sharp eyes, you basically have like a legendary glove inbuilt into your class. On top of that, you have a lot of crit damage in your overall kit and a lot of IED. So let me just find that skill over here. Something that increases. What is my IED increase? So basically when you have like 25% over here, inbuilt in your kit IED, you have crit damage again, you have some dodge, you have some increased damage. Where is I remember there's another IED line. It's a lot of IED basically. You have final damage, strength, maybe it's here. Empowered, yeah. So over here you have also IED. You can see empowered snipe gives IED. Snipe is the bossing skill. So a lot of IED lines inbuilt into your overall kit. Your snipe here also has itself another 25 IED. So a ton of IED in this character, like pretty much for free. Which means that you don't even have to care about like almost one stat altogether. You can see my lines over here. I have 91% IED, basically with like 7 lines of over here. And I have nearly like 0 lines of IED, like maybe at most 1 line, and it's very high up already. I'm not even using like the 7 days batch or anything. So this class, super efficient, easy to get crit as well. You can see over here, my crit rate is 94%, but it's because I don't have any link skills open. All I just need to do is like just slap on like some of these skills and immediately I'll pass. If I input like my bossing kit, for example, like this one with my Luminous, now my IED goes up even higher, 92. And everything else can go into like boss damage, can go into attack stats as well. Super efficient character to run. Granted, my rest of my gear is not like very weak, other than maybe this hat, which I'm just using like pretty much a naked hat just to get the boss damage. But it shows you that even with 5 items subpar And I'm using like a Chaos Horntail, not even like a Dom Pen or anything. And I'm just using like some Mechanical Pennant, which my bonus potential is horrible. I probably need to like reroll that eventually. And yet it still does like really, really well for this character. So super cost effective. I'm using like even a unique ring here, which also has even more room to improve. My gear is hardly anything 17 stars. So my crossbow here is like 11 stars only. I'm not even running with like a tier 6 flame. I believe this is like a tier 3 flame as well for attack power. So it has a lot more room to improve. My lines are 2 lines in main potential and like one line in bonus potential, because that prime attack line is not even there. It's like the boss damage is like maybe a 3% attack or something like that. So very, very solid class already on its own. At the same time, I only have 3 items that are like 17 stars. The most important thing about this class is you buy long-term assets. Like I don't even have to use this triple one. I have one that is over here and is able to clear very nicely as well. You can see it's really, really very solid. It's pretty much giving me the same thing. Like there's no DPS gain, no DPS loss. The only thing is this one gives me like slightly more ID, the 30% ID versus this one here, which gives me like the only just 4% ID. So exactly the same attack stat. You just like sacrifice a bit of ID. You can find that in like another line. If your weapon had like another line of ID instead of that crit rate, so it's like pretty much the same thing. So you can save a lot of money that way. Granted, I'm getting a lot of resource from this evolving true shot, but you can pretty much pick this up for like 100 mil, 200 mil right now in the shop. You don't even need this even. And this one can carry on and it's an appreciating asset because it's just so strong. So this is like my best item on this account. The rest of them is like kind of meh. This one here is probably like what 20-30 mil, which gives me some stat, but it's not like a massive increase. It's only 11 stars. I have here also only a 11 stars one, which not even like a 2 lines. It's like 12 and 6. Again, a lot of room for improvement here. My head like makes up for it. So if you have like everything at epic or like unique, probably you'll be about the same, especially if you're like 3 lines. The equivalent stat that you gain is like more or less the same. I just have it green because of my obsession with like green stuff or something like that. The only stuff that I have 17 stars and I clear very, very comfortably. In order to like, if let's say I were to make it not 17 stars, like maybe just 11 stars and lose that 15 attack, all I just need to do is like tier this item and maybe like get another line 9% over here and have like better potentials in this one over here. That pretty much like will make up for that attack stat as well. So my pet map is one of them that is 17 stars. This one is brought over from my main. Not very fantastic bonus potential also. It's like a 5% dex with like 14 flat dex, which is not really a 2 line. At the same time, it's like 12.66. So anything that is like a black bean mark probably will be even better. 12.99 at 17 stars. But I had this as spare, so I was like, might as well just use it. My next item here that is 17 stars, which is honestly not necessary also, is this Will-O-Wisp. In fact, I think the thing that's carrying this is the potentials. The bonus potentials is quite nice with a good amount of attack stat as well. Something that a lot of people don't know is for replaceable gear, I highly recommend going for attack over main stat, especially if you are like me, not very late game, like only just like 18, 19k stat. Attack might be a bit more helpful, especially if you're trying like solo bosses. So this is my next 17 stars. And my best item probably, other than my secondary, is like this one over here, which is giving me enough stats, but you don't really need this. You can just take that 6% and just like roll this one instead. That 11 attack, 2% all stat can easily replace this one just by tiering it up or something like that. I have my ring on another account waiting for a transfer, but this is like my best stuff. 17 stars, but you don't need this again. But you can see, because I have an efficient character, I don't even need this 4. So all the money that is used on these 4 gear, which it will normally be like very mid, maybe unique Absolapse or maybe like a legendary Raven Signet set or something that is like 17 stars. I save all that money instead and I buy good assets that a lot of people want that appreciate with time. So you hedge off your depreciation risk by getting very, very good assets, and then you sacrifice the things that are like maybe not as necessary, yet I still can solo content. So yeah, that's just a quick sharing. In my opinion, this is one of the most efficient characters out there. Very importantly, you need attack speed on a marksman. It's very, very critical, and you want to be 215 so you do the maximum amount of damage on Lotus and Damien. Marksmans are really, really very fun to play, very easy, very brain dead. You should check out the video as well. on boss clears using marksman. And if you found this video helpful, do check out our other content on the channel. I have many boss mules. They're all solo Lotus and Damien. I have videos on all of them, so pick your fancy, which one you want. Right now, marksman is very cheap because Dex is very affordable. People are hardly playing it right now, which is why it's not only efficient, but it's also cheap. So if you are looking to clear content, this is an angle you can go. And if you appreciate such content, do like, comment, and subscribe for more such future videos. And see you guys in the next one.